Good morning, everyone. I am in Nebraska, and today I'm going to cover 3 or 4 or 5 states. I'm not entirely sure. I'm also not entirely sure how many days this video is going to cover. I guess we'll get through all of that later in the video, but for now, I'm in Nebraska, and I'm in a beautiful little state park here. And I'm about to walk across this bridge, this old bridge. It dates back to 1910, and it sits over the Niobrara River. I don't know how to say the name of this river, but it is beautiful. Again, the morning is beautiful. The birds are singing. I think it's going to be a good day. I'm in, I think, north central Nebraska right now. I'm on my way, and I can hear it now, toward the highest waterfall, the tallest waterfall in the state of Nebraska. This isn't really a state that comes to mind when someone mentions waterfalls, but I looked up the tallest one in the state, and it's right here. I said I could hear the waterfall, but it's actually this little one that I've been hearing. That's maybe 8 or 10 feet high. I think the real one is this way. Okay, this is actually a surprisingly beautiful waterfall. What a way to start the day! Wow! My pant legs and my shoes are completely soaked from the spray at the base of the falls down there. But what an awesome thing to see. Nebraska. Who would have thought? I've actually made 1 or 2 videos before about Nebraska. It's a surprisingly beautiful state, and I think that's going to be a recurring theme today, or for the duration of this video. I'm going to walk back to the car and leave the state park here. I think this is just called Smith Falls State Park. That's called Smith Falls. And it was a $12 entrance fee, which is kind of expensive for non-Nebraska residents, but whatever, you know, it's worth it. The next time you see me, I'll be in South Dakota. And so, 3.5 hours, 200 miles of driving later, I'm at this hill here. And let me change the lighting here, okay. So this hill is called Spirit Mound, and this is one of the very few places where we know for sure that Lewis and Clark stood because of the changing nature of the Missouri River and the dams and everything like that. As far as river places where they stood, we don't, it's hard to tell exactly, but this is a hill, and it has been for the last few hundred years at least, obviously. And we have written accounts that Lewis and Clark and 10 of their men on August 25th, 1804, stood on top of this hill here. I am in southeastern, is that right? Southeastern, yes, southeastern South Dakota, the bottom right corner of South Dakota. This is the only thing I'm going to be doing on this trip in South Dakota, I think. And so if you want to see other South Dakota content, I'll put links to those videos that I've filmed in the past down below. The sign here says that it's a 0.8 mile trail to the summit. I don't know if that's a round trip or each way, but let's head on up. Lewis and Clark wanted to climb up this particular hill because the Native Americans in the area, the tribes that they met along the way, told them that evil little men, little demons, little 18-inch high people lived on and around this hill. And so Lewis and Clark, wanting to see for themselves, along with 10 of their men, came up here, and we have records from the party, journal entries saying that they did in fact come up here. They did not find any evil little 18-inch high demons, but they did see herds of bison from up here, hundreds of bison, and presumably they were able to just get the lay of the land from up there, and I'm excited to do the same. I just rounded the bend here and saw this. This guy just launched off of the hill. This paraglider. And he landed. Check out these boulders along the trail. These are glacier erratics. These were brought here by glaciers during the last ice age, about 13,000 years ago. And this landscape is so flat and featureless, relatively speaking, because it was scoured, it was scrubbed, it was flattened by those glaciers 13,000 years ago. And here is the top. Looks like there's a little ammo can summit register in there. And a sign saying, don't take this trail, take the longer trail around. Beautiful day, beautiful views. Definitely looks different from how it would have looked 217 years ago. Can you imagine seeing this? The guy just took off again. Very nice. And it was, by the way, 0.7 miles each way. I was tracking it. And now I'm heading to another state, Iowa. Don't you love seeing grass rippling in the wind? That's just awesome. But yeah, anyway, state number 3, Iowa. I have been to Iowa before. It was years ago when I was a kid. Don't remember a whole lot about it, so I'm looking forward to it here. Not gonna spend a lot of time there today, but I'll be back, I think, in a couple days. The point of this trip, at least the point of the beginning part of this trip, is to get to Wisconsin. I'm gonna be fishing there for a few days, and I'm meeting some people to fish there, and so that's why I'm kind of hurrying through here. That's why I'm crossing several states in 2 days from home in Idaho. But for the near term, for now, let's head to Iowa. The spot I want to visit is an hour and 45 minutes away. All right, guys, I'm pretty excited about this next stop here. It's basically, well, I don't think basically, it is in someone's backyard. There's a farmhouse right here, surrounded by cornfields, I think, with a strong cow or fertilizer smell in the air. I'm at Hawkeye Point, the highest spot in Iowa. Hawkeye Point, elevation 1,670 feet, and we are on Sterler Farm. Back behind the actual high point, there are a bunch of signs pointing to every other state high point. I don't remember which number high point or state high point this is for me. I'll put that on the screen. I've done quite a few at this point. Actually, by numbers, I haven't done that many. I've done less than half, but by effort, I've done a lot. I've done all the ones in the Western US, and so it feels like I've done more than I have. From here on out, it's basically just getting out to all the different states, all the states in the Midwest and the East. And then, of course, Alaska is going to be the big, difficult one. I haven't done that yet, but at some point, I'll get it done. I don't really have anything else to say about this spot, except that it's, I think, the lowest state high point that I've done so far. I live about 3 times as high as the elevation of this spot, but, you know, it's all relative. This doesn't feel like I'm on top of a mountain or anything, and I'm not. Like, this isn't a mountain. It's just the highest point of a low rise. But hey, it counts, right? Behind the high point, behind me here, there's a little observation deck, a little viewing platform with a silo. Let's go up there. This is obviously the highest natural point in the state of Iowa, but I mean, this silo is higher and this deck is higher. This water tower in front of me here is higher. There are lots of things that are higher in Iowa, but this is the highest natural point in the state. Let's take one last look here from our elevated viewpoint of the actual summit of the peak. By the way, I kept seeing this flag. I thought at first glance it was the Mexican flag, I thought the colors were just weird or faded or something, but nope, that's the Iowa flag. I did not know that's what the Iowa flag looked like. All right, let's get back in the car. Keep driving. Well, it is a couple days later and I am in Wisconsin. Let me show you this this place that I've been camped at for the last 2 nights. Tonight will be night number 3. This is, I think, a county park. I don't know, some kind of park with campsites in the, I believe, southwestern corner of the state. So I'm parked right in the corner here. So I have wild forest on this side, lots of birds, lots of animal noises, but it's nice and quiet. Then there's a really pretty river over here. I've been spending the last couple couple days here fishing, and it's been great. Weather's been a little bit iffy. It rained all day today, but it's been a lot of fun. And like I said, I'm going to spend one more night here, and then I think this video is going to keep going, and I'm going to show you some stuff that I'm going to see tomorrow, because tomorrow's not going to be a full day of adventuring, just a, well, I guess it is, but it's going to be more of a laid-back day. It doesn't warrant a whole video by itself, but I thought it would be fun to tack that on to what I've already seen and done here. So I'm going to hang out and maybe fish a little bit more today, and I'll see you guys in the morning in... There are so many bugs, I keep inhaling bugs. What was I saying? I'll see you guys in the morning in... I think I just ate another one. I'll see you guys in the morning in another state. Good morning. It is the next morning. I'm in Iowa. I'm parked here on the side of the Mississippi River. Beautiful morning. It's been raining a lot, and it might rain some more today. I'm hoping the rain holds off while I do 1 or 2 hikes in this area. This area is a national monument. It's called Effigy Mounds National Monument. I think it might be the only national monument in this area. Not entirely sure, but I'll talk more about what exactly this place is known for once I get to where I'm hiking, because it'll be more relevant then. For now, let's cross the train tracks here, cross the road. I think the hike starts up this gated road here. It's now about 35 minutes later. It was about a 1.7 mile hike in to get here. And I'm at the spot that I wanted to see. And there are so many bugs. Anyway, this place is called Effigy Mounds National Monument. I'm at some of the Effigy Mounds now. So you can see these small rises. They're about 1.5 feet high. One here, one over here, one right in front of me here. This. There's actually a row of more than 10 of them. And these ones are particularly interesting because they're in the shape of a bear. So there's a row of bears. This is called the marching bears. And there's just a ton of bears heading that way. They're facing that way. And these were built by Native Americans in the 1st millennium AD. So these are fairly old. I have no idea how these were discovered, because I mean, if you look to the forest on the side here, this is kind of overgrown. And so at some point, this all would have been overgrown. You can see how it's mowed. It's mowed today to keep these visible, but archaeologists aren't entirely sure what the purpose of these was. They assume it was some sort of religious or spiritual purpose. I believe most of these were not burial mounds. There might be some of those in the park here, but I don't believe these were burial mounds. Ideally, I would fly the drone here, get a view from above so you can see the march of the bears here, but I was anticipating that. I was anticipating not being able to fly the drone here, and so I've brought what I call my poor man's drone. This is a 10-foot selfie stick with a GoPro on the end. And so I'm going to put the GoPro to its widest angle, and I'm going to fully extend it to its 10-foot length. I'm going to raise it up. Let's see if we can at least kind of like make out the shape of the bear here, because it's kind of hard to see the bears from the ground. You can't see, okay, this is a leg, this is the other leg, this is the head. But apart from that, it's kind of hard to see. So anyway, let's see if this makes it any easier. But yeah, look for the two legs sticking out the bottom. That's the easiest thing to identify, I think. It'll be kind of on the right side of the screen. I'm now kind of in the middle of the bears. There are a few on that side, a few on this side. I'm gonna show you each side. I'm gonna pan from one side to the other. And then just for comparison, here's the same view from the ground level. Looking toward my left here at the first group, and then to my right at the second group. There are over 200 of these mounds in this national monument. That's why it's a national monument. And a lot of the mounds that you see in the Midwest, they're rounded little hills or they're conical shaped. And there are some of those here, but the real main attraction, the really interesting thing here is that these are animal shaped, a lot of the mounds here. Lots of bears and lots of birds especially. So I just consulted the map that I printed out of the national monument here. I'm at the south end. You can see where it says Marching Bear Group, and you can see the line of bears there. And it looks like according to the map there are 10 bears and a few birds here in this particular group. So let's see if I can find one of the birds. I think they're more off in this direction. I've found the birds. There are two of them. The bears are all this way. The last two mounds are the birds. There's one here, and then one over here, and then here's the gate marking the boundary, I think, of the national monument. It's kind of hard to tell here, but this is like the body of the bird, right? So this is the tail here and the head here. And then there are two wings coming out. So there's a wing right here. That mound, that's the left wing. And then there's the right mound, which is the right wing. Here's the second bird. Again, kind of indistinct, a little bit harder to see, I think, than the bears, but this is the body right here. It's kind of a raised mound. The head is over here, I'm at the tail. Left wing is coming off of this side. Right wing is coming off over here. I've finally arrived in the middle of some fields, along with some other cars, and I'm in Illinois. We've got a gate here, and it says private property, but this particular spot is open a few times a year for people to access. And so you park on the road and walk this way. I don't know how long the hike is, how far it is. You can see some other people hiking along the dirt road there. This little two-track road leads to the highest point in the state of Illinois. This will be high point number 20 for me. But yeah, this is another one of those ones that's on private land, and unlike the Iowa one, it's not open all year. Like I said, it's only open a handful of times a year. I didn't plan this trip around coming here on this open weekend. It just happened to work out. I was already in Wisconsin for the fishing thing, and so I thought, you know what? Great, I'll head down to Illinois briefly, and I've done several videos in Illinois before. I'll put my favorite one of those in the video description if you want to check that out. I don't know what it is about the bugs in this part of the country, but they just love to go in your face, in your mouth, up your nose. It's rough. It made me think of those, I don't know if you've seen these, but in the Australian outback, some people wear what basically look like cowboy hats, but there are little cords hanging off the brim, and on the end of each cord is a cork. And so by, moving your head around, it moves the corks around, and that keeps the flies away from the face. I need something like that for this little hike here. This is turning out to be a surprisingly pretty little walk up this road here. Got a couple of ponds, got fields, the views even are good. And then got a beautiful barn over here. It's really pretty. All right, guys, before I knew it, I was here, Charles Mound, highest point in Illinois, 1,235 feet above sea level. And here we have it, cross another one off the list, number 20. Let's go take a look at the view. There's a summit register over here that you can sign with nice chairs looking out over the great views of the rolling farmland. Apparently you can see 3 states from here. So we're in Illinois, Wisconsin is over there, and Iowa is back over that way, which I can't really see from here, but I guess theoretically you could, if you looked over in that direction, possibly see it. And that will finally bring an end to this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I had a great time. It's been an exhausting several days here, but from here I'm heading north, gonna go into Wisconsin, try to find a place to camp. And I think I'm gonna start the next video either there at the campsite or at the place I'm gonna be tomorrow morning. So either way, see you guys soon in the next video. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you have any questions. Let me know what your favorite part was. I'll see you in the next one. Be sure to check out Adventure Know-How, my new site, where you can gain access to a map of all of my free campsites, plus monthly bonus videos that you won't find anywhere else. Learn more at adventureknowhow.com. And for links to everything else SUV RVing related, visit suvrving.com. Links to these sites and more will be in the video description.